like to put a verb to things. So it's one thing to say this quadrant is low will and low skill, and that one is high skill and high will. But what does it really look like in terms of verbs? When we have students with low skill and low will, we find ourselves having to direct them, right? We have to provide very clear instructions. We have to identify what the outcome is going to be, so that kid needs to know up front, this is what's going to happen at the end. We have to give immediate feedback. We have to stay on top of them by monitoring their progress. And to keep them engaged, you got to identify some quick wins. So you got to tell them right off, oh, that's great, move on to the next one. Okay, as you move up, skill increases, but the will is still low. So they know how, but they still really don't want to. So we're in a guiding phase. We got to minimize the obstacles. That means removing any barriers that will prevent this child from completing the task. So we got to give them tools, handouts, notes. We teach through modeling, coaching, giving feedback. And then you have to kind of relax the control a little bit. Okay, now if we move to the lower right, we have high will, I want to do it, but I don't really have the skill. High will and low skill. Y'all, that's one of my favorite types of students to work with. A kid that just wants to, right? I can work with you if you want to. So with that type of student, because they want to do it, but they don't have the skills to match that desire, we have to excite them. Identify reasons. We need to identify reasons why. We need to help them develop intrinsic motivation. And again, we're going to monitor progress and give them positive reinforcement. And then, if we have students with high skill and high will, this is where we can take the training wheels off and we can delegate. Students can have more freedom in their learning. We can treat them as partners, and we can stretch their learning goals. That's what we want to move our students into.